My parents signed over their entire estate to my golden child sibling, then tried to guilt me into supporting them in retirement. But I'm done being their backup plan, so I refused and went no contact. 34 am, and I don't think I've ever had a normal relationship with my parents. Growing up, it was pretty clear my younger brother, let's call him James, was their favorite. He's 2 years younger than me, and while I was the one who got good grades, kept out of trouble, and tried to make something of myself, James was the screw-up, plain and simple. But to my parents, that didn't matter. It never mattered. I was the responsible one, so they expected me to handle things while James just skated through life with their full support. To give you an idea, James barely graduated high school. He partied hard, dropped out of community college, then bounced between dead-end jobs while living at home well into his late 20s. Meanwhile, I was working my ass off to pay for college, land a decent job, and save for a house. And no matter what I did, I was never enough for them. Everything was always about how James needed help, how James was struggling, how I was independent and could handle myself. Last year, things finally hit the fan. I went to visit my parents for a typical Sunday dinner. We weren't exactly close, but I still did the obligatory family thing once in a while. Anyway, we're sitting in the living room after eating, and my dad suddenly gets this serious look on his face. My mom's sitting next to him, fidgeting with her hands like she's nervous, but they're both acting like they have something major to tell me. We've made a decision, my dad says about the estate. I'm thinking, okay, they're getting older, maybe they're drawing up wills or something. But then he drops it, they've signed everything over to James, the house, the vacation cabin, their savings, everything. I didn't react at first, I just sat there staring at them, waiting for the punchline that never came. They were dead serious. My father started rambling about how James needs the support more and how I'm doing well on my own and don't need their help. My mother, of course, was nodding along like she always does, as if they had rehearsed this entire thing. So you're giving everything to him? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. And I'm getting nothing? They exchanged a quick glance, and my mom jumps in with her usual, it's not about that. You know we love you both, but you're stable. You've always been responsible, and James, well, he struggled. Struggled, that was the word they used, like blowing every opportunity and partying away as 20s counted as struggling. You do realize I busted my ass to get where I am, right? I said. I didn't just magically become stable. I worked for it. They didn't get it, or maybe they didn't care. My dad just sighed and rubbed his temples like I was being unreasonable. We're not trying to punish you. We just think James needs more help right now. You've always been the strong one. I've heard this crap my entire life, but hearing it now, with them essentially cutting me out of their lives in favor of him, felt different. But I wasn't going to make a scene, not yet. Instead, I asked the obvious question, so what's your plan for retirement? You're giving everything to him, does he take care of you? My mom shifted uncomfortably, and my dad finally looked me in the eye, though he couldn't hold my gaze for long. We assumed you'd help us out when the time comes, he said, like it was the most natural thing in the world. That's when it clicked. They weren't just giving everything to James, they were expecting me to support them financially when they ran out of money. My brother gets the house, the savings, and the cabin, and I get. What? Their bills? So you're telling me I get nothing except the responsibility of taking care of you when you can't work anymore? I asked, the anger bubbling up. My dad, looking more irritated than apologetic, nodded. You're more equipped to handle it. James is still trying to get his life together. It makes sense. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This is unbelievable, I said. You're rewarding him for doing nothing, and then you expect me to pick up the slack? Are you serious? My mom started crying, her go-to move whenever things get uncomfortable. It's not like that. We didn't mean for it to come across that way, she sobbed. But the words meant nothing. She wasn't sorry for what they were doing, she was just upset I wasn't falling in line like they expected. No, I said, standing up. You've made your decision. James can have everything, but don't come to me expecting me to clean up his mess or take care of you when things go south. I'm done. I walked out without another word. They called after me, but I didn't turn back. As soon as I got home, I blocked their number. I needed space, and I wasn't about to let them guilt me into staying involved in this ridiculous family dynamic. For months, there was silence. No calls, no texts, nothing. I figured they were content letting James blow through their money, but of course, that didn't last. Eventually, I got a voicemail from my mother, sounding panicked. James is in trouble, she said. He made some bad decisions. We need your help. Please call us back. I didn't call back. They wanted me to step in after James had inevitably blown through the money they handed him on a silver platter. No way. I deleted the voicemail and moved on with my day.